Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. Hope you guys have had a great kickstart off to your week. We're going to be giving you guys the most up-to-date information you need to know on the important stocks occurring within the market. Of course, we'll be starting with Palantir, talking about an actual cool presentation that they bring that shows the true utility and the power of what Palantir can bring to its customers. We have Kramer that gives out some remarks on Palantir. And we're going to be talking about what is the change in administration? What does that mean for Palantir possibly going into 2025? In addition, we're going to be talking about other stocks such as SOFI actually seeing a little bit of a dip. And now we have a lot of retail and maybe even institutional investors sitting on the sidelines saying, hey, is this a possible opportunity? We have a JP Morgan analyst that comes out with a statement regarding that matter. And we have some political news from Elon Musk in Tesla that does not necessarily agree with the vote of shareholders. We're also going to be talking about a new up-and-coming trending stock that a lot of influencers across the board are starting to talk about. So if you are a new or returning viewer, hit that like button. We're on our way to 19,000 subscribers. Hit that sub button. Of course, not a financial advisor, collecting on the data and dispatching it to you. Now, starting off with Palantir here, basically kind of holding on the day, down about 1%, a little bit in the after hours, sitting at this 66.39. Not a ton of big news that came out. What we do see with Palantir is actually consolidating here, doing well at the mid 60s. We'll see if Palantir does have a drop or if this momentum continues to push it past $70 by the end of the year. I still think that is entirely possible with the rally that we've seen recently in the market and where the momentum behind Palantir, regardless of its valuation, because right now that's being completely disconnected. One cool thing that I did see here, Palantir, I encourage you guys to go look it up on X, is that their collaboration with Formula One right here, they actually show a video working with Ferrari and Charles Leclerc, one of the biggest driver for Ferrari, talking about and putting to test how Palantir can work in real time. And it's a really cool video if anybody wants to see just how amazing Palantir can actually serve its different types of clientele and can really cater to specific niches. It's a really cool video. It's 8 minutes long. I really enjoyed it. I encourage you guys to go watch it. Kramer comes out here giving remarks on Palantir today saying, hey, it recorded one of the best quarters of the year, fantastic growth margins, saying that they are killing it with the federal contracts. We've seen this, including some important work for the Pentagon, and they tend to win every contract they tender for. They also have a great commercial group. So coming out with a lot of bullish remarks for people that are large believers of inverse Kramer theory, this is where we could possibly see the top. But nonetheless, some people, Kramer, he is still in the headlines regardless of what he says. People do listen to him, so I guess that's great. But what we see, he's given Palantir the green check. And this is where we're leading to quickly before we talk about some of the other stocks. Talking about the difference in administration, this rally, is Palantir stock a buy or a sell heading into 2025? And a really interesting thing that is going to be coming to play here, and it will be more of what's going to be actually happening in terms of reality. Remember, is that Department of Government Efficiency, what they call DOGE here, which is going to be by Elon Musk and Vivek, if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I got that wrong. Now, one of the big things that they're going to be doing is working on cutting governmental spending and wasteful governmental spending, looking into governmental efficiency. One of the big things I can see how Palantir could be opportunistic here is the fact that they're going to be working on decreasing a lot of unnecessary spending. And could that be replaced with software automation and AI to increase productivity? And the fact that Palantir already has some pretty strong ties with the government, Palantir could show and really be a shining light here to help reduce a lot of that waste in terms of spending and to bring efficiency and productivity. I think that is a bullish statement going into and a bullish avenue for Palantir. in terms of the Department of Governmental Efficiency here, actually working with Palantir, I could see that becoming a possibility. I think that is a pretty high possibility. We'll see if that actually happens. Regardless, this article talks about insider selling. We know this from some of the big insiders. They are selling. Palantir is still ranking very high. Project Maven, fundamentals. We know all the fundamentals and all the things. We can sit here and talk about technical analysis. But just in a broad overview, going into 2025 with that Department of Governmental Efficiency, that looks like it's going to be coming strong and hard. I think Palantir actually has a benefit factor in terms of this perspective. Now, we see, let's talk about here, SOFI. What we do see in terms of price is at $15.91. It actually came down about 3% on the day. We saw SOFI that opened up about $16. You got to remember that SOFI here, ladies and gentlemen, just about a month ago was sitting at about $10, $11. So SOFI has had a big run up over the month, about 50%. So we got to give that to SOFI. If there's a little bit of a cooling off, I mean, that's just kind of some responsible profit taking across the board from institutional and retail side of things. However, SOFI right here, this JP Morgan analyst could be calling what they gives a statement here, talking about SOFI, the American Express of fintech. And we kind of touched base on this in yesterday's video on in terms of actual fintech stocks and how SOFI operates is pretty far ahead of the game in terms of user interfaces with traditional banks. And SOFI's positioning and its go-to-market strategy noted that the company is really a big winner in this new digital bank space that could eventually become the American Express of fintech. And I do see that kind of side of things. SOFI is very advanced in digital banking, and the fact that if they can continue to have a competitive edge and can take advantage of the optimism for the reduction of the federal funds rate continuing to be reduced in terms of interest rates, this is only going to help SOFI. So the fact that SOFI, if they can stay on top with this momentum that they have behind, in terms of competitors, they're doing a really good job. And I can see that. Talking about the American Express of fintech right here, great to see some of the big analysts that are starting to cover SOFI stock. It's currently trading at about 3.5x its tangible book, and its price target reflects the promising outlook right here. So SOFI is being priced more towards high expectations. I don't know necessarily perfection, but it is being priced with high expectations right now. This premium and the momentum behind it, I think, is going to continue into the rest of the year. Talking about Tesla, we have the Delaware judge that actually comes in and strikes down Elon Musk's Tesla's pay package for the second time. Now, where Tesla sits at, not actually a big reaction here in the news in terms of the after hours, sitting at about $357 per share. Now, Tesla, remember, shareholders actually approved Elon Musk's pay package in June after the judge voided it in January, and Tesla said it plans to appeal the ruling. Now, in the ruling right here, and Tesla actually comes out with this tweet right on X talking about how this Delaware judge overruled the supermajority of shareholders who voted to pay twice for Elon Musk actually what he is worth, and saying here the court's decision is wrong and they're going to appeal. And this ruling, if not overturned, Tesla says means that the judges and the plaintiff lawyers run Delaware companies rather than the rightful owners, the shareholders. So interesting to see here. We'll see what happens in terms of price action. Not a ton happening now. It's typically what the channel covers in terms of, not getting too far into the political side of things. But on the political side of things, on the news, that is what happens. So we'll see what happens going into tomorrow and how the court appeal will be working. In terms of the broader market, doing pretty well. We see another record close across the market. NASDAQ, S&P 500 come up about 1%. Dow Jones just slightly down. Now, we do see this December rally. That is what the anticipation is, a continuation, not like an explosion, but people are still, and a lot of the market is expecting December to be a green month. And we see Tesla actually gain about 3.5% following an upgrade to a buy from the neutral at Roth. There is a lot of information with there. And Super Microcomputer comes in here as a big gainer, surging nearly 29% after a special committee found no evidence of misconduct about the firm's financial statements. Amazon increasing right here. November marking the best month of 2024 for both the Dow and the S&P 500. Most of the gains came in, of course, after the election results. Both indexes notched higher, and the expectation right here is that December is traditionally a good month for stocks. So they're talking about here, they're seeing the range for the market bound going to the end of 2024. A lot of people think that they're going to grind higher, but not rocket higher, citing 6,200 as a potential year-end estimate for the S&P 500. Those would be some big moves. Last thing I want to talk about here, big stock that a lot of influencers are starting to talk about is the stock called Grab. Now, we can do more of an in-depth analysis on it, but just wanted to kind of put it on your guys' radar for people that are starting to see this. Grab Holdings right now, back in October, is trading at about $3 to $4. Right now, it's at $5.18 from a recent pullback of about $5.70. What Grab exactly is basically the Uber of Southeast Asia, and why investors and a lot of people are starting to pay attention to it is because Uber is actually not competing directly with Grab in this region because Grab was doing so good. And interestingly enough, the biggest institutional holder of Grab is Uber. So Uber, instead of competing with this Southeast Asia company here, they actually decided to buy a big stake. And you can see a lot of people are starting to talk about Grab, what an investment means. They're basically like Uber Eats of Southeast Asia. A lot of people are starting to pay more attention to their actual business metrics, their operations. We can do that if you guys would like, or if you think this is just another trendy stock that is going to fade out kind of right away. What do you think down in the comments? Peace out. Take care. Thank you guys so much. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for your support. I'll catch you guys later.